Welcome into the Wandcast. It's the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Harry Potter series with a, dare I say, defensively improved craft brew on the side.
Ooh.
I'm Aaron, and I'm here with my two favorite Hufflepuffs. No matter how much they question how they're my favorites, because they are the only two Hufflepuffs I know, but they are still my two favorite Hufflepuffs nonetheless. Nate and Jade. Hi, Nate and Jade.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And also prove it. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
On this episode, we are ignoring obvious warning signs and sneaking into chapter 14 anyway.
He means me.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Snape's Grudge. No, Nate, that wasn't perfectly played out exactly how I could have hopefully written, but did not. That was great. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's true. We're ignoring your obvious warning signs and continuing.
Yeah. Speaking of obvious warning signs, my throat is obviously totally wrecked and has been for the last week or so. I'm not sick, so I'm not contagious, but my throat is angry, and so I sound like absolute shit. And I will try to limit my speech.
Here's the problem.
I'll be quiet.
What if people like this version of your speech?
Then sign up for the Patreon because this will be a limited time thing. So it's exclusive. And yeah, I don't really know how to sell this. This is probably not good.
We're just going to have you read famous works of literature, like
yes.
Parts of
if it's over 100
Magna Carta,
years old, then
Declaration of Independence.
We don't have to worry about copyright.
We're going to, oh yeah, let's go. I was going to say, we're going to make an exception for Huck Finn. That's just fun to read. Famous speeches. Just, yeah, little as $1
I don't
a
know
month.
any offhand to start to read or to recite, so I'm sorry.
Well, I am sad to hear that your throat has been wrecked. That your words, not mine.
Okay, I would like to make an amendment.
Which is?
I think it's implied.
Well, yes, we are going to continue onward. We are fighting through the adversity and, yeah, maybe obvious warning signs that we shouldn't do this. But we are also doing something a little bit different today. We are going to kind of change up the format of the show. We're going to do a quick summary of this chapter. And then we've highlighted some points that we really want to dive into and want to be able to kind of dedicate more time to. So we're going to try it. If you guys like it, if you don't like it, let us know. You don't know if a different way is a better way unless you try it. So we are going to do a chapter 14 summary, and I am going to do it in under 100 seconds. As long as I don't fuck up at any point. If I don't fuck up at any point, this should be in like just under 100 seconds.
Okay. Then you shouldn't at all need to worry about the fact that I'm going to be timing you with a stopwatch.
Okay. It was close to looking like you were recording me.
Oh no.
I was like, I didn't put my makeup on. So no, we are going to do a quick summary and the time starts now. After an all-night search, Sirius Black has escaped once again. Hogwarts' intruder defenses are improved, and the Fat Lady has returned. Ron enjoys his 15 seconds of fame before Hagrid invites Harry and Ron to tea and ruins Ron's good times. He tells them that people can be stupid about their pets, but friendship is more important. Harry and Ron return and see that the next Hogsmeade trip is coming up. Hermione warns that she will tattle if Harry goes on. And on the day of the trip, Harry is caught as he tries to sneak out by both Neville and Professor Snape. Still goes to Hogsmeade anyway. At least this time he takes his invisibility cloak, so everything will be fine.
It'll be fine.
He catches up with Ron. They see all of the sights, but are ambushed by Malfoy and gang at the Shrieking Shack. Shenanigans start, but Harry's uncloaked and no longer invisible head ends all of the fun. He hurries back to Hogwarts, but is immediately caught by Snape and taken to his office for questioning. Snape says a lot of truths, but in kind of a mean way, and he tries to get the map to reveal its secrets. The map decides to reveal some insults instead, and Snape asks our boy Lupin for an assist. Lupin asks Snape why so serious, And then Ron arrives to help back up Harry's story. Kind of. Lupin leads the duo out of Snape's office, lectures Harry about wasting his parents' sacrifice, and if that wasn't bad enough, the duo run into Hermione, who informs them Buckbeak has lost the trial and is set to be executed. Fiend. How'd I do?
1 minute, 34 seconds.
Fuck! All right, we're going to do it again. Ready?
No. That's 94 seconds, my guy.
Oh, yeah, 94. I did my math wrong. Yes! All right, we're going to do it again just for fun. No, we're not.
Are we? I was going to say.
No.
Okay.
No. My throat is going to get wrecked as well if I try to do that again, I think. We'll have 2 throat-wrecked boys on the podcast.
That's going to change. If we hashtag that,
that's a whole different
we're going to get a whole bunch of new listeners.
That's a whole different podcast.
Let us know if you want to see hashtag throat-wrecked boys.
No, that's going to go on to Only Things podcast.
The Only Things podcast. Yeah, that'll be there. Hashtag throat-wrecked boys. Let us know if you want to see it. So, like the throat-wrecked boys, we're going to do some deep diving. That made me feel good. I'm sorry that you guys had to listen to that, but I put something on a tee. I had to hit it. That's not my fault. You know what is someone's fault, though? The defenses at Hogwarts that get put in after Sirius Black escapes the second time. They kind of feel like defenses that I would have put into place after the first time Sirius Black broke into the school. Flitwick teaching the doors to recognize a picture of Sirius Black. Why was that not done before Sirius Black broke in at all? Why was it not done after the first break-in? Jade, what are your thoughts?
The doors can recognize people?
Apparently.
Yeah, we never heard that they were like sentient before.
Doors are sentient? Since when? Parts of this castle are sentient? That changes things.
In my opinion, if you can teach the outside doors to recognize a picture of Sirius Black, it feels like you would be able to somehow ask other parts of the castle if they saw what might be equivalent to a giant basilisk roaming the school last year. We don't have any alarms for giant destructive magical creatures.
We talked about that before with the paintings.
Yeah.
They should be able to see stuff. That should be like a built-in security system.
Seems like it.
But like with the teaching the doors to recognize people, there's one way that I understand that it could work with like an alarm system, like a laser system. Not that he's talking to the doors and saying, hey, okay, so if you see this guy, but maybe it's like a spell where he has to do something to like key it to Sirius to where if he were to walk through, it would throw an alarm or something.
The answer is obviously because magic.
Because magic.
You know, but yeah, it's why aren't we doing this because magic after the first break-in?
Well, when you're worried about Sirius Black in the first place, I feel like these are all things that would have been done first round.
And some of the other stuff, they mentioned that like Filch is running around covering
spackling all the holes.
Yeah, spackling like mouse holes and cracks in the wall. And it's like, Filch can't do magic. So, I mean, I guess that does help.
Well, he's getting in somehow. And the troll thing, they only did the troll thing because the fat lady demanded it.
Yeah, she is part of her agreement to come back is she wanted added protection. And so they hired some security trolls who like to compare club sizes with each other. That's in the books.
But, I mean, I guess this is just implied. Had the fat lady not left her portrait, she would have died, like been destroyed, so she couldn't be alive anymore. And that would have hurt, right? It just leads to questions about the morality of the paintings there. Like, if they got burned in a fire, those are like people that died then, right?
It's a great question. Yeah, it mentions that it was because of her nerves. She was nervous about coming back and said that she would come back if she had like an armed guard.
But why would you be?
But why are you scared?
Yeah.
If your painting is destroyed, do you not exist? Even though you can leave your painting, your portrait.
Yeah.
Can you, you can't just move paintings.
And you care about existing somehow.
Maybe it's similar, like, if she gets injured or her whole portrait is destroyed, the magic keeping her alive goes away. I'm assuming it's something like that. But yeah, like what kind of alive are we talking here?
Yeah, because her painting was destroyed. Like her canvas was
all
destroyed.
Slashed up. Yeah.
But she got off. So she's fine. But like she cares about not being destroyed, right? It's not just like a painting that's like, yeah, I'm not actually a person though. I'm just a shade of a person. So who cares if I live or die?
But she does.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes.
I was going to add, it's probably her herself. Her painting can probably be destroyed. Now we know that they can move in between each other's paintings. So like hers got all slashed up, but she wasn't there. So the paint that makes her
That's what I'm wondering.
was not injured in any
Right.
way. So
Yeah.
she's okay, even if the painting gets fucked up.
But
Because they can make another backdrop and then she can go back to it.
Because the magic isn't in the backdrop, it's in her paint.
and I think
She's
more
the focus of the painting.
I think more to that is that we know they sleep because we've heard times where like Harry coming back after being late night shenanigans or just under his invisibility cloak, whatever. It'll say that he wakes up the fat lady. So you would want security when you're sleeping because you're the guard to the room.
Yeah.
If she would have been sleeping when Black showed up, like she probably would have quote unquote died, I think.
Yeah, because then he would have like slashed her and
Yeah.
she would have been
Based on what we know
damaged.
of Sirius Black, I seems like the guy that would kill a painting. I think he would kill a painting.
I think that the other paintings on the level should be like doing like, rotation, sleeping rotations. That's what I think.
Feels like maybe it shouldn't be a one singular entity thing.
Right.
We can work in shifts. We can have PTO. That's painting time off. Thank you.
wow.
Ron, he's a little bit of a famous boy here for a little
He's
while.
a fucking storyteller.
Famous boy. That's such a weird way to talk.
I love the way that he tells this story, though, because everybody knows somebody who goes way bigger on their storytelling than what actually happened. And then I looked at him, and he looked at me, and it was just this big, intense moment between them, and then he ran away.
After he yelled,
Yeah.
I yelled at him, and he ran away.
Like a little
Yeah.
bitch.
I said, "Get out of here, Black, before I get my wand out. If you don't get out of
Wow.
here." Yeah, look, I think he probably workshopped it. I think he probably was like, "Harry, how does this sound?" And Harry's like, "Nah, don't do the wand whipping
He's
thing."
been muttering these things in his sleep for weeks now.
Ron even does admit to a good point when it's just him and Harry, mostly. But why did Black run? We know Black has no problems killing people. He had the wrong bed, because we know Black's after Harry. So why didn't he just stab Ron and then move over to Harry and stab Harry? And then if Neville starts yelling, stab Neville.
You'd think if his main purpose is to commit murder, then even if you missed, okay, run to the other bed. I don't know. Maybe it's something where like he doesn't want to kill the wrong person because then he knows for sure then school's going on lockdown. Until very recently, there's not been confirmation to him that they know for sure he's been there.
I guess that's true.
So he's still operating under the idea that they don't know that I've been at the school. Now I've been seen by a kid. Now I'm in
That's
trouble.
a good point.
So now there's like security. So it might just have been like, if you have the option to not get caught, you'd rather that. The guy just got out of prison. He's not going back to prison.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go back to Azkaban, but
But it wasn't that bad for him. So I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
and
You
also
go,
just he had to run out of the room. So it's not like he had a
Yeah.
way to magically disappear. He physically left the room. Harry hears a door shut after Ron yells. So just stab Harry on the way out. Like, just, you don't have to stab him a lot. Run over to Harry, stab, and then leave.
I do wonder, though, what door shuts, because we've talked about this before. We don't think there's doors into the dorms. There's stairs. Crookshanks has been able to fuck around and get in and out, so there's no door.
It like depends on the chapter whether or not there's a door to the boys' bedroom.
So does that mean that, well, he closes the door to the common room? Was that the painting we hear slam?
Harry thought he heard the dormitory door slam.
Oh, so there is a door.
In this chapter, there is a dormitory door.
In this one.
Well, this is in the last chapter. In chapter 13, there is a dormitory door. Yeah, it does seem like they don't necessarily keep that consistent, though. Or it's just the doors are open so much that it's kind of like they're not there.
Okay, I could see that.
In which case, like we spoke about before, that's a little bit more on Ron to keep the fucking door shut when your rat's in there.
Yeah, if you don't want someone coming in, like, I don't know, like maybe Sirius Black, shut the door. But also, it's, when you get a draft going through there, it does feel real nice. You only get that when you got one door and one window open. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, the opposite of what Ron gets to experience is Neville. He has his 15 seconds of infamy. We don't have to talk about it a lot, but his punishment, not that bad. He gets detention. He is not allowed to know the passwords. No one's allowed to tell him the passwords.
Yeah, he's locked out of the common room,
You don't
which
think
is a
that's
weird.
that bad?
I'm sorry. Follow your classmates back to the dorm. You lose the privilege of doing shit on your own. If you want to go to the library, take a buddy.
How about you, as school officials, shouldn't have let a terrible guard be in place of our school entrance? I, as a third year, had to write down all of the names for the week because this motherfucker keeps changing them every 20 minutes, and I have a bad memory.
That's
this is
true.
a thing that has been canonically established since I got to this fucking school. And you, as school officials, should be giving me some, student aid in order to get through this fucking weird-ass school that we're in, okay? You shouldn't be punishing me for trying to figure out my own way through when you won't fucking give me a leg up. Fuck you. That's where I sleep.
Well, no, he's allowed to get into the dorm from the common room. He's just not allowed to get into the common room.
Her angst is very real right now.
I know. That was not a joke worth
That's
making.
where I
That was not a joke worth making. Because now
No,
she's
I
just
mean,
looking at me.
What if he
Nate,
needs
she's
a
only
hoodie?
looking
What
at
if
me.
he is cold?
Here's the thing.
I'm scared.
It is a security risk to have Neville with all of the old passwords. But silver lining here, only one of them was potentially good, right? None of the other ones were going to work.
Well, unless it was like Monday this, Tuesday this.
Yeah, Neville can have a fucking buddy.
No, listen. You know whose problem it is? You know whose fault it is? It's the fucking guards. And listen, you put somebody in front of our common room who is dumb enough that he let a serial killer stand in front of him, a dirty, scraggly looking, terrible looking fucking serial killer, because we all know he looks like a fucking scary ass skeleton right now, stood in front of this fucking painting with a piece of paper and read off the entire week's worth of passwords till he got to the right one, and this motherfucker let him in, and it's the student's fault? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not saying it's the student's fault, but Neville broke the cardinal rule about passwords. You don't fucking write down a password. It's a password.
But it's not.
It's supposed to be secret.
It's not his
and not
fault that
something
he
that
had
could be
to
shared
adapt.
on paper.
He had to adapt to the bullshit rules of this stupid ass school. He has a terrible memory.
I mean, look,
Are you
I'm not here to fully defend Neville in this moment.
I have
just
passwords on my phone in my notepad too, because I need 15 million of them.
Jade,
Absolutely not. He should be able to go into his common room and go get his hoodies whenever he wants to. He shouldn't be barred from there. He should be allowed, and they have the fat lady back there who's not going to let a serial killer in, so it's a moot fucking issue. Let the kid go into his bed.
I think maybe the more important point is that Neville is also not allowed to go to Hogsmeade ever again. That was the third
Which is also
part
bullshit.
of his punishment. And I think that maybe we need to talk about this a little bit more. But unlike Neville, we could go do it at Hogsmeade if we wanted to. But, well, I mean, not really, because I don't know how to get there. And I don't know exactly where it's located. But we will figure that out because we are going to take a quick little break. And then we're going to be back right after this. Nate, what are we drinking today?
Aaron, my friend, we are drinking black cherry bourbon barrel from Wild Tea.
Well, he's a Hufflepuff, so he's friends with everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Good save. Thanks, babe. Old-fashioned, anyone? We combine the robust flavors of barrel-aged bourbon, Lux black cherries, and warm vanilla to deliver this award-winning brew. At 9% ABV, this classic is sure to satisfy on its own. For an even bigger doozy, combined with a scoop of vanilla ice cream and a shot of bourbon for a vanilla bourbon float. Cheers.
Okay. You gave me 4 words that I really like. Black cherry, bourbon barrel. I don't like this that much. I've realized black cherry is a dangerous flavor profile to work with. Because you know what else is kind of a black cherry flavor? A lot of medicine.
Yeah.
A lot of medicines. And do you know what also has medicine flavors sometimes? Alcohol. I feel like I'm taking a slightly better tasting, flavorful cough syrup sip right now.
So that's what
You know
we've talked about this before. There's a difference between cherry flavor and red flavor is medicine flavor.
Yeah.
Man.
And that is a real bummer because so far before this wild tea type of beer, 3 out of 3, this guy is not the same.
It's very
It
syrupy.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And so that last thing you said, before I took a sip, when you said I can combine this with a scoop of vanilla ice cream and then just a little extra shot of bourbon for a vanilla bourbon float, I'm like, I'm going to drink that every day. And then I took a sip.
And then I tried it.
I don't think I will ever try that.
They went wrong because they didn't need to add the bourbon into the flavor. They should have done a really good dark cherry and then tell you, hey, add the bourbon yourself because we've balanced the cherry to go against the bourbon.
I think I am going to give this... I'm going to say 3 scoops out of 10 scoops.
Wow.
I don't care for this. And I just also remembered that I bought a variety pack. So hopefully you like this. Jade, would you like to give your rating for this too?
Yeah, I don't like it. Here's the thing.
So I can just have this can then,
You guys-
If you want.
You guys, if you're here right now, you've probably been here for a while. And so you know that typically... I might not like a beer, but I'm going to finish it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to drink it. Even if I have a headache, usually I'll push through because I'm like, if I get drunk, it'll be fine. I've been drinking this one. I did not finish it. I drank like half of it and then said, you know what, guys? I think I'm done. And so I'm going to give it 2 scoops. Because
2 scoops. Holy shit. To both of you guys.
It's lucky you didn't get a 1. I didn't finish it, Nate. How often do I not finish a beer?
You know what? I'll give you that. And hey, beer tasting is very subjective. I was going to give this a flat 5.
Okay.
Because I enjoy the sweetness. I enjoy the crispiness. I think those both have it in their, in their favor. The dark cherry, just like you guys, there's something up with the cherry. Maybe we got a bunk batch. I don't know. It could be, but it's not right. Whatever it is, it should not have passed the thing. Yeah. But I'm actually glad for this because we had 3 like, hey, everything is fucking awesome about it. We are being objective about these beer reviews. This one was not good.
Yeah.
We didn't like it, and we will say as much if that's the case.
I was going to say, we typically look for beers we think we'll like, and this was a variety pack. So,
I was just going to add,
hey.
I reserve sub 5 ratings for beers that actively taste bad. I don't think this tastes bad. I just don't think it tastes good either.
Again, different opinions.
Yeah. And hey, that's just bad for us. I would love to hear, if you guys can find this, especially if you're down in Ohio and get a taste, let us know what you think. But for now, I think we're going to get back to something that we all can agree on, that we all like, and that's this book. So we'll get back to that right now. And we're back. And I just realized, guys, I kind of wish we had tea. We had the beer, but I wish we would have had some tea. Yeah. I guess we'll have to go see Hagrid. And that's what we're doing. It's tea time with Hagrid next. I just thought of that.
That's the new podcast segment.
Yeah, tea time with Hagrid. We're not going to breaks anymore. We're going to tea time. Oh,
Got any hot goss? This is where we share it.
Ooh,
Have a rock cake.
sip that tea. Ooh, don't have
I'm
the rock
sad.
cakes.
I don't think I
have
could
the
do
rock
Hagrid's
cakes.
voice right now.
Ignore the crunching in the back. That's just Buckbeak. You know what?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I just have to
Yes.
say,
by all means.
because of Buckbeak
Mhm.
in these scenes,
Mhm.
there is far less Fang than there used to be. And,
True.
Justice for Fang, man. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. You only have enough time for one magical pet. So if Buckbeak's coming in, means Fang's going out.
That's all I'm saying.
That's, I don't like it.
Normally,
I'm with you.
go to Hagrid's hut, first thing you get, Fang up in your face. He's
Yeah.
slobbering all over you. Where the fuck's the Fang slobber?
Stand for Fang. Hashtag.
Mm.
If you want to see stand for Fang be a thing,
Staying
go
for Fang?
go
What?
ahead. Stand for Fang. I don't know.
We should probably search this before we. Just in case.
It's probably fine. I want to talk about, and I know we've kind of already talked about this. We've had the Ron versus Hermione, Crookshanks versus Scabbers debate. Hagrid takes Crookshanks' side.
Oh, Hagrid takes Crookshank's side hard.
And I guess it's less Crookshanks' side and more just survival of the fittest side, like predator's gonna predator.
Well, Hermione's side, ultimately.
He's taking animal side.
That's true.
Like a cat is going to eat a rat. You can't stop that. You know, so, like it's not necessarily that he's taking Crookshanks or Hermione's side, but he is.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing here is he mentions that friends are more important than brooms or rats. And I just want to know one thing. Did he say this exact same fucking phrase to Hermione when she was coming down to visit? Because it can be said the same fucking way.
Yeah.
Friends are more important than cats. Hermione.
I don't think that it needs to be boiled down to friends being more important than your pet. I think that's the error in his thing because no, you know what? Friends are not more important than my fucking cat. My fucking cat is my best friend and you can eat a dick. Okay? But I will say being a mature, good friend is about seeing your friend's point of view and understanding where they're coming from. So no, I'm not going to toss my cat out into the street because I love him to death and we both should have been better pet owners. And I'm sorry is what should be happening.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that there's a 50-50 here that has to happen. Or
Yeah.
at least a little, everybody's got to give just a little bit for this thing to be actually fixed proper.
Yeah.
To come in and say that one or the other is fully to blame, it doesn't really work.
No, but that's where the issue is that it's not really even about what happened. It's about Hermione not being willing to be like, hey, I'm sorry. She's just like, well, cat's gonna cat. And that's a shitty thing to say to your friend when their pet died.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah.
what it boils down to. You need to be compassionate to your friend, and she hasn't been in this instant.
I didn't really realize this until just now, but Hermione has treated Ron and is it Parvati about her rabbit dying?
Lavender.
Oh yeah.
Lavender Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Binky.
she treated Lavender Brown, a relative stranger, not stranger, but like not friends, right?
They share a dorm room.
Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Who are Hermione's best friends?
Oh, yeah. Ron and Harry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That means that Lavender is not as close to Hermione as Ron is.
True.
But that means she, because her fucking pet died, and Hermione's just like, you weren't fucking worried about that, you dumb fucking stupid. You believed all the blather about bad things are going to happen to your pet, and it's bullshit, and you're being stupid right after your pet just died. And then she treated, arguably, her best friend the same exact way.
It was like, it's a prey animal. Meh.
Yeah, it's a through line with Hermione. She's definitely wrong.
Well, and that's it right there, Jade. It tracks why Hagrid takes the side that is also crooks. Hagrid is like, yeah, his whole thing is predator prey, and he likes the predators. He doesn't like the prey. All the animals, dragons, predator, Fluffy, predator, hippogriffs, predator, Fang, you could argue, predator. He doesn't.
His name is literally Fang.
You know what Hagrid don't like? Flubberworms. Hagrid ain't about that. But the other thing you said too, he goes down to pets. But yeah, it's really about like, if friends are more important than things, sure. But the thing is owned by my friend. So it has a shared importance. Like if your friend wants their rat, you as a good friend should acknowledge that.
Yeah, and
it's not about the pets. It's about the friends.
Yeah, it's about the behavior of our...
Hagrid also points out that people are silly about their pets.
Yes.
Because it's like, look, even if Hermione deep down knows that she fucked up, she still loves her fucking cat more than anything because that's her pet and that's how people act about their... Even Fang, even Buckbeak. Yeah, they're dangerous fucking things, but they're my pets and I love them and I'm not going to give them up because they're my pets.
Yeah. And in
At
which
the
way...
end of the day, your pet is your fucking pet. That's a part of your family. That's how it goes at this house.
And I can understand being defensive of that pet.
Yeah.
And your gut reaction being like, no, not her fault. Not his fault. Fuck you. I'm going to keep it and you can eat a dick. But also, she should apologize.
Because it goes both ways.
Yeah. 100%.
Both parties had pets. So if people can be stupid about their pets, that means Ron is allowed to be stupid about his pet. So again, it has to be both ways. Because, you're telling Ron he's not allowed to be stupid about his pet, but you're telling Hermione that she's allowed to be stupid about her pet. That's not fair.
Right.
That's not an equal friendship. So,
And Ron has had his longer and his is missing. So...
Yeah, it's kind of more established. Like, like if you got to make cuts, you cut the new guy.
Well, I'm just saying that it's a deeper cut for Ron. He's had that rat for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's also missing.
Yeah,
he doesn't have it.
Hermione has 2 months dedicated to Crookshanks. Ron's got his life apparently potentially close to it because we know it was Percy's before. We don't know how old exactly Scabbers is. Maybe we'll find out later.
Fucking old.
Maybe we'll find out later. Next up, we got Hogsmeade trip to Electric Boogaloo. Harry and Ron get back to the castle. They see that Hogsmeade trip is coming up, and they're immediately like, well, we're going, right?
Obviously.
Hermione from the back, out of nowhere, hears them and threatens to tattle. Doesn't deter Harry at all. And then, caught by both Neville and Snape.
Just real quick, if you're so fucking lonely that you're going down and you're bitching to Hagrid, and you're like, I'm so sad, they don't forgive me, the first thing you don't do, you don't sit in the back of the room and go, I'm going to tattle on you. That's not how you approach the situation.
Agreed.
If you're scared for your friend's life, and that's why you're like, we should tell somebody, you go up to him and you go, Harry, hey, I know we haven't been talking. I really don't think this is a good idea.
I can be a stubborn person sometimes. And I feel like Hermione, while being fully in support and defense of her own pet, also may feel like she knows she's crossed a line, but fuck you, don't fuck with my cat. My cat is perfect and wonderful. This is not the move. Not if you want to fix things and get closer. Like, okay, you want to keep Harry safe and for the good of him or whatever. But like, if it were me, it's more please sounding like, hey, I know you want to go, but please don't. It's dangerous. I care about you. I know there's all this other bullshit going on, but at the end of the day, buddy, I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
Hermione, you're not wrong. You're an asshole,
You're right.
This is the theme of this book.
My asshole.
You're not wrong. You're an asshole. That's everyone is doing that this book. But yeah, like you said, and Hagrid mentions it at tea time. He even said that Hermione's heart is in the right place. She was terrified when she heard that Ron got attacked or was about to get attacked. And she didn't feel like she could go up to Ron and say those things. But then, don't do this. Don't do this then. Now, switching back to the Harry point of view of this, you have the Marauders map. You're looking at it. You see Neville coming and go, I am apparently quick enough to get in before he'll see me. Just wait. Go into one of the classrooms that we know is right outside the statue because that's where Fred and George took you, Harry. You can see they're empty. You have the map.
That's what my thing was. There's a classroom right there. Also, he has an invisibility cloak.
Put the cloak on.
Into the classroom, put your cloak on. Nobody's going to see you.
From the common room, put your cloak on. Wear the cloak the whole fucking time, dude. Like, come on. At least he's taking it this time. He's taking it.
He had to have the cloak on because he made a whole performance of not going in front of Hermione, which is redundant because she's not stupid. Okay?
She knows he's gone.
Like, just because you stand in front of me and both go, bye, I'll see you later, I'm not going to believe that you're not going to go down the fucking secret passage. But don't just stand there and be like, okay, Neville. And then also, you didn't see Snape in the vicinity when you were just looking at the map either? Because they both pop up real quick.
Yeah, that's like the whole point of the thing that you have is to fucking check to make sure you don't get caught. Like, it's obvious you wear the cloak, right? Have the map out underneath the fucking cloak. Be invisible and know what's around you at all times.
Yeah,
you'd never be surprised again.
It's like when you're playing a video game and you accidentally stumble into like good loot early on and you don't know how you're supposed to use it. Harry with the invisibility cloak and the Marauders map.
New ability. Now you've upgraded into a combo and you're still learning. Just like you got to use these things together to get the full effect.
Yeah, like he should be the equivalent of like an indestructible 13-year-old. He's invisible and has constant perfect layout knowledge of what's around him. That's amazing. Just do that all the time.
He literally has the perfect heads-up display at all times.
And here's the thing. Once Neville sees him, you're not going. You should not go. First of all, you have no good excuse.
Mm-hmm.
The back and forth, that's a very good example of what happens when you run into somebody that you don't want to hang out with. But you don't have a good reason not to hang out with them. Like, it was perfect. It was beautiful. The way that he was like, oh, I got to go do this thing. And Neville's like, oh, me too. Cool. I'll hang out with you. And he's like, oh, actually, I don't. And he's like, cool. You can help me with it then. Fuck. But then he finds a way out of it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do later tonight? Later tonight when you see Neville, when you were like, oh, I popped back to the library. You're going to have to come up with a lie on your feet as to where you were during that time period. It's going to keep getting messier. The more lies you have to tell, you might as well just fucking stay there. I mean, we see what ends up happening. We'll get it. But, once Neville catches him, that should have been the end of his trip. He should have known this is not to be today. There was the Hermione shit. There was the Neville shit. I might as well just fucking stay here. There's Snape. Snape runs into us.
And it's increased severity.
Yeah.
You know, like Hermione is your best friend. Is going to threaten to do stuff, but probably not.
Yeah.
Neville, he's going to snitch on you on accident.
Right.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is Neville is going to say something. Neville equals Hagrid in that regard.
Right.
Oh, I should not have said that. I should not have said that. It's like Neville's going to let it slip. Hello, passwords.
You don't come back in 20 minutes. He's going to start wandering the fucking school looking for you.
Exactly. Cover's blown. Time to go.
Well, no,
abort mission.
That's it right there. Is he's not going to be able to go look for Harry, or he might, but then he's going to get locked out of his fucking common room because, Jade, you are right. That's a super fucking cruel thing to do. But he's going to snitch on Harry because he's going to start going up to people going, have you seen Harry? Harry's not here. Harry's not where he's supposed to be. Do you know where Harry is?
Yeah.
And then it's Snape. The worst person you could have run into, maybe arguably other than Dumbledore.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, done. You're done, dude. Go back to the common room. No Hogsmeade for you today.
It was a really funny moment where he was like, why did you guys meet here? And he's like, oh, why? What are you talking about? We didn't meet anywhere.
We weren't meeting here. We met here.
It was a good line. It's a good line.
It is fact.
Yeah.
But because he said it, I think, it made Snape be like, oh, what's going on? Like, I don't know. The whole thing is just funny because why would Snape even care about where they met? Why would that even be a thought?
It's because Harry was so on point with all of his responses and he was being such a smart ass. Snape is like, those comebacks are too fucking sharp. You've put thought into this. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Snape brings up the thing you're trying to keep hidden. You know, the whole thing at the beginning of the chapter, Harry and Ron do talk about, like, hey, Black broke in and escaped. Should we say anything about this statue? And they choose not to. Because they say, well, if he would have broken into Honeyduke's, we would have heard about it. So that hasn't happened. So he's not using the secret passage. That's their logic. Snape, the one person you hate at this fucking school, other than Malfoy, just looked at the one-eyed witch and you caught him. Go home. Go back to your common room, Harry. Don't risk this. Live to mischief another day.
What?
Not today. There'll be another trip. This is the second one, so we know they do at least 2. Probably going to do a third. Just miss out on this one. It's fine. Ron will figure out what's happened.
I do feel like there are so many missing nights that we don't see at Hogwarts because if you did have an invisibility cloak
every night
and a Marauder's map
every night,
and you know that there was what, like 5 secret passageways out of the path?
8 total.
8 total.
I think 5 available.
And 3, and we've only explored 1. Like, we don't even talk about
Some
this.
other
Not even
ones
talk
are
about
known about, but Harry hasn't been in them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're not doing that. If you have a Marauder's
That's
map
what
and
I'm saying.
invisibility cloak, every night you're going to to prowl the school.
Well, it's
Harry
feasible
doesn't.
that if you have a magical map, it's going to have all those secret passageways
It does.
on it.
Yeah, that's how
Because it's a
that's how
magic
Fred and
fucking
George
map.
know about them.
Yeah.
And it even tells you how to get into them. You know, the map said Descendio. Ugh.
And you can get into Honeyduke's after hour. Like, that's what I'm saying. We don't see, like, how is there not? And
Yeah, Fred and George go to the Honeydukes for the party.
I know there's bigger things at play.
Yeah,
We don't have
yeah.
enough time. But, like, how is JK going to tell us that Harry spending, 180 days at school every year hasn't been in some of those other passageways? Even 2 months later?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely not. Me at 13? Oh, we were sneaking to Honeydew. We were sneaking. We were going places. We were doing stuff.
Jade, unfortunately, we're out of time. To talk about that right now, we are going to take a quick little break. And we'll be back right after this. We are back. And the next big thing that I want to talk about, Harry throwing mud. Okay? They get to the Shrieking Shack. They're ambushed by Malfoy and gang.
The goons.
The goons.
They're ambushed. I mean, I feel like, to be fair,
Yeah, really not an ambush. Because they were there first.
Ron is standing there by himself.
Yes. With an invisible Harry.
Yeah. To Malfoy, Ron just looks like a weirdo. So,
Yeah.
ambushed is a strong word. They're strolling up from the other side of the hill, though, so I also don't know where they came from. I was also wondering that. Like, where the fuck did they come from? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Nate.
I just thought perfect cover for Harry being invisible. I know this is technically in the 80s, so they don't have this, but a Bluetooth earpiece. If you're Ron, you just pop your earbud in and be like, you could be on the phone talking to who the fuck ever. Nobody would ever know that actually you're just speaking to the person next to you. It's perfect.
I was going to say, they had like radio transmission technology, but that I think Ron would have had to been holding something up to his
That
head.
doesn't
Big
work
old
around
mobile pack
Hogwarts.
from
And we
like-
also know that doesn't work around Hogwarts anyway.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Unless Hogsmeade is outside that area. But hey, this wasn't what I wanted to talk about. I'm having trouble. I know, Jade, you're kind of struggling with this too.
Yeah.
Harry is able to bend down, pick up mud, and throw it, and somehow remain completely invisible.
He throws it at Malfoy.
Malfoy
yes.
first.
Right.
Then he starts fucking with Crabbe and Goyle. But if you try to throw something, well, you have a cloak covering you.
And the first one was mud. The second one was green sludge. So I just want to be aware that the viscosity also, I feel like, makes
Nasty.
a difference.
Very nasty. Very
Yeah.
wet.
I mean, you can
Quite
hold
nasty.
sludge.
You
Yeah,
can,
but it's gross.
but to throw it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
yeah.
just
To
saying,
throw it, yeah.
to throw it.
Less
and-
solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question at hand here.
Is what's underneath the cloak visible? Like, how are Harry's legs still invisible? Like, picture a blanket on top of you. If you're just standing straight up and down with your arms to the side,
And even if it's long
complete
enough,
coverage.
his arm shouldn't
motion.
be.
It would either expose his hand or his legs. Nate, we talked about this over break.
Hermione.
And you said...
Hermione, go ahead.
Hermione, you have an answer. What you got?
Okay, so my brain's been doing a little back and forth, actually. But before now, what I believed was that when you put the cloak on, your feet are invisible. Like, you are cloaked. The cloak isn't necessarily as large as you are. But
I've already got something.
But okay. But then during this situation, this Malfoy situation, right? Crab or Goyle, one of the goons steps on the fucking cloak. It pulls it back and it exposes Harry's head, which gives us some very important knowledge. That is that if you are outside of the cloak, you are exposed. This is why it matters.
Okay.
In the movie Wild Hogs, when they they ride the motorcycles out to the pasture and they slap the bull's ass. The first guy gets away with it because the bull wasn't paying attention. The second guy to do it tries, but the bull is now aware. And the reason that matters is because when Harry throws the mud the first time, his hand was exposed with the mud. I don't think anybody was looking directly at him.
Yeah, he was behind them.
Because the goons do say, look, it came from that direction, which means the mud outside of the cloak is definitely still visible.
Well, that and you can, if you get hit in the back of the head, you know it came from behind you.
The bit that doesn't make sense to me is the throwing the sludge, because now the bull is aware.
Yeah, they're looking.
Exactly.
They should see a hand.
So how he did it the second time without being seen, that's what I have a problem with. His hand could have totally been exposed when he threw the mud, but then when he threw the sludge, they should have been able to see.
And then he grabs a stick and is walloping them with a stick. And they still do not
should
see
be visible at that point.
him or know where he is coming from.
Now, okay, so he could have the stick. Now, I'm not saying this is the way.
He could have the stick
If
shoved
the stick was
underneath it,
and it was like
It's
poking
floating.
somebody
it
with
would
it.
be floating.
No, I mean, if you take the stick and you put it inside of your cloak and then you like poke him with it, then it's invisible.
Oh.
Does say he threw the stick.
If he throws the stick, it's a cloak. So I kind of picture the sleeves as long enough to cover the tips of your fingers if you choose.
Yeah.
But that still means the stick is going to be exposed when it's hanging outside of the cloak.
And at some point when you let go of it, right, your hand's probably going to cross the threshold of your cloak.
Yeah, the cloak is a magical thing, but it's very much a physical barrier. It's not like if the jacket was 3 sizes too small, your whole body would be invisible. It's like just that bit.
We don't try to do very many spoilers on here, but we do know, just for clarity, later in the series, they get bigger. They have a harder time fitting underneath the cloak.
Bingo.
Because their feet are visible because the cloak isn't down. So that's what I was saying is when he throws, he should be lifting up the cloak. So like either his arm is visible, like you said, or his from knees down should be visible.
This is
hey, here's the thing. We don't have time to keep doing this.
No.
There is so much more to this chapter.
I just wanted to add real quick that my motorcycle jacket is cut in a way to where when I lift my arms, it doesn't lift the jacket. So depending on what cut, like I don't know how cloaks are
it's a square.
formed, but if it's just a regular graduation gown type thing, right? Like the things they wear in the movies, then absolutely their fucking feet should be sticking out when he raises
or
his
at the
arms.
very least, his arm should be half exposed.
Yes, 100%.
Some of him had to have been exposed for that whole thing. Someone who could have got down to that answer faster than we did is probably Severus Snape. Because we get to see some of Snape's interrogation techniques here.
Oh my fuck. Why
okay,
did
Jane?
you say it like that?
What do you mean?
You did it on purpose.
Said what? I don't know what's happening right now.
You don't?
Nope.
Do you really not?
Nope.
Who is doing this interrogation?
Snape.
Say his first name. Say his fucking first name
I said
now.
Cerberus, didn't I?
Jesus.
Say my name.
Oh, God. Oh,
Jeez.
no. That's what's going to be on the Only Things. Is you talking like
really
that.
quick.
We've heard back
Snape.
from one person on that. Sounds like they liked it and also did not fucking like it.
I just got to say, the fact that Harry comes bolting back to the fucking castle.
Mhm.
He ditches his fucking invisibility cloak, but he pops right out of the... And Snape is right there, and that's where they end up meeting.
Because he also doesn't use the fucking map. He has the cloak and the map and doesn't use either.
Yeah.
But he already got caught. We can't talk about that. He's got caught. Snape has caught him already, guys. We can't talk about that.
Crawl around in barrels often.
But the fact that this whole interrogation... Snape knows that this motherfucker just came through a tunnel going to Hogsmeade, right?
It says he doesn't get far down the corridor. So Snape knows that he is near that statue. 100% absolutely.
Does Snape know
And
that
Snape
that's
was
a
near-
secret thing?
He
No.
doesn't, but he knew that he was by it earlier. He just was given this information that Harry was in Hogsmeade. He went back to the area he saw Harry earlier, and that's where he is. We'll get into it in a second, but at the end of this, Harry gets to walk away with his map, and there's no further questions. Okay,
Yeah. Well,
continue.
yeah, so Snape doesn't say anything that's wrong here, like factually. He says a lot of truth, but he's very much, it's similar to Hermione. He's not wrong, but he is an asshole. Like, he puts a lot of stank on, like, comparing Harry to James with their, forgetfulness of the rules. But, like, one of the things he said is like, oh, Harry, don't worry, you can just run around. Let everyone else worry about your safety. It's just everyone else that's trying to keep you safe. But yeah, go ahead and fuck around.
I mean, he's not wrong, but he's also leaning way into the guilty aspect.
Mhm.
Like, I love how Harry's like, he is trying to get me
Oh, yeah.
to admit that I've been up to some shit. And under no circumstances am I going to admit the truth right now.
Yeah.
Now, let's just be real about the fact that Harry's best friend had a murderer over him the other night while in bed. A murderer that everyone believes is there after Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Harry, during all of this chapter, at no point has any type of emotional feeling about how my friend almost died because of me.
Holy
I'm scared.
fuck, you're
Yeah,
right.
there's no self-introspection
He did not-
whatsoever.
A murderer was in my room.
He's like,
I was real close to dying.
yeah, no, I'm going
Maybe
to
I shouldn't be
Hogsmeade.
out here because there is a murderer fucking wandering around. There's not even one hint of any of that. So yeah, you know what?
Hey,
okay.
bro, you okay?
And even after Snape points this out to him, there's still not even a hint. Not even a fucking hint in Harry's mind of him being like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what?
It's probably because Ron was loving all the attention. It's because he
Oh, it's
probably...
Ron's fault.
I'm not. I didn't say that. I'm just saying you're Harry. You probably, I would like to imagine that he did like have concern for his friend. And then he walks over there and Ron is halfway through the story about how he fucking stared down Sirius Black and made that little pussy walk. You know what I mean? And he's just like, oh, Ron's fucking fine.
I mean, we
Or-
also have about 2.5 books now of concrete proof that Harry is not the most observant
Is totally
person.
unaware.
Yeah,
Right. I was
he's
going to say.
13 and an
Main
idiot.
character syndrome.
yeah.
This is a real Occam's razor type thing. Maybe everything
Oh,
I
yeah.
just said is the case. Or
Nah, Harry's kind
just
of
painfully unaware.
Harry sometimes is kind of a dick. And spoiler alert, one of the things that Snape says about Harry is that he's very much like his dad, who he was kind of a dick sometimes to Snape.
Yeah, he
Sometimes.
lets him in
Yeah.
on this fucking...
We don't get backstory on if it's deserved, but
Dumbledore told Harry that
Mhm.
his dad had saved Snape.
yes.
And so Harry has this idea of his dad being somewhat of a hero.
good guy, hero.
And Snape breaks all that down by being like, actually, your dad just about fucking
Your dad was a
killed me.
Pussy, actually.
He was part of the setup, bailed, and then saved my life.
Yeah.
So
got cold feet.
hero? No.
Yeah.
Now, I do see Snape being upset at Harry's dad over doing whatever it was he did. Because again, we don't get exact details. But are you not fucking glad he got cold feet? Like, of the people that did that to you, are you saying you regret that he didn't go, you know what, guys? I don't like Snape. That's okay. Let's not kill the guy, though.
Yeah.
Like maybe the would-be killer had a change of heart and decided to let you live. I'm not saying you need to like have gratitude and be like, thank you for deciding to not murder me. But at the same time, like Potter, less than the rest of them, you'd think he'd be angry at.
You have treated me like shit since I got here. You could have like totally taken me under your wing and talked to me about how shitty of a dad I had. Actually, it's cool my dad died because he was a shitbag, and now you're going to be the cool uncle who takes me under your wing. Like now I hate you because you've been a dick. You could have changed all of this, Snape.
I think if we had an opportunity to ask James, like, hey, how would you want to be judged? I think he would probably say, like, judge my character during the moments when it mattered. Look, I'm not saying that anyone else in this book series is probably going to try to make that exact same argument much later on down the road, okay? That maybe they should only be judged when it mattered and not all the other horrible shit that they might have done throughout their life. I'm not saying that, okay?
True.
But
looking back over my life story, there will be some blacked out areas.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but hey, though it didn't matter. Those were in fun times. Only the important parts. That's when you can judge someone's character.
You skip those at the funeral. You'll read them at the after party.
Okay. So during this conversation, though, right? Snape makes him take out everything in his pockets, pulls out the parchment and all the Zonko shit. Which the Zonko shit was funny. Because he was like, "Oh, you just been carrying the shit."
Yeah, from the first Hogsmeade trip like a month ago.
It's just been in your pocket the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, bullshit.
Easy way to find out. Open them up. If they've been in your pocket for that long, they're melted as shit.
No, this is the tricks from Zonko, not the chocolates.
Oh,
this is like the biting,
prank
the
stuff.
teeth, the nose biting teeth.
I thought I had something. I was
dung
just like,
bombs.
oh yeah, these been in your pocket all day. These still seem crisp and fresh.
Weird, there's a receipt in
I
here.
think you're full of shit, Potter.
Luckily, he didn't buy any chocolate because then it would have been
Lucked
would have
out.
been absolutely. Hey, here is evidence number one: fresh chocolate.
But then he pulls out the map, and this has always been one of my favorite parts of this whole fucking book, is when he pulls out that map, and the map starts talking shit back to him.
Oh, it's
and
so good.
Each of the marauders gets a fucking line in there, and it is great, but also it is interesting to me.
Yeah, it's both because like you, I love how it talks shit. It doesn't start talking shit until Snape is like, I am fucking Severus Snape, master of this school.
Cerberus.
It's not. And you will tell me your secrets. And it's like, oh, it's Snape? Tell that big-headed, big-nosed, dumb fuck to get out of here. Or like, they start fucking with him.
Big-headed gip, slime ball, wash your hair.
And you love it because from Harry's point of view, fuck yeah, get that motherfucker. But then now, as an adult, after the story that we just heard Snape tell, it does kind of add a twist to it because we're like, man, if you did almost die as a prank, some, from your point of view, bullies did to you, and then now here's this magical thing that's
bullying
also
you,
talking shit to you. I've been bullied before. It fucking sucks. It made me a really angry person for a very long time. And I can get, like, I don't know, maybe I have a little sympathy for Snape here. But, like, I mean, the guy's still an asshole.
Yeah.
You can't forgive him for that. But maybe you know why.
What was interesting to me is, again, I mean, we keep coming back to this conversation. And I mean, I think part of this happened off air. Aaron came over the other day. And he was mentioning to me that he had done some research on some things. And he said that certain items were non-sentient in the magical world. And I just keep coming back to this idea of things being sentient or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about the map. The map starts responding to Snape and seems to know Snape, not only how he looks, but also now that he's a professor, and it's surprised that he is a professor. And we've talked about this before. It showed Harry how to use Descendium. So this is more than just a blank piece of paper giving you information. There is some type of sentient being inside it. Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going.
No, I know
Right?
exactly. So I still argue that it's not fully sentient because this map is what we would now call ChatGPT. It would just say, show me a map. Okay, now show me where everyone is on the map. Now, assuming it would be like a ChatGPT that has access to security cameras and all that. Like, that's what we're dealing with, which I argue is not full sentience yet.
So it has encompassed the personalities of these
It's magical coding.
founders.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they bring it to
And knows
Lupin.
how they would respond.
They bring it to Lupin, and Lupin goes, well, obviously, this is a piece of parchment that was spelled to insult whoever's reading it. And Snape, he may not believe Lupin in that moment, but like also, he didn't totally poo-poo the idea. Like, that could very well be a thing that exists. What I mean is like a spell that's just like, fuck you, dummy. Every time you read it, I don't know.
Well, that's what it is it doesn't say anything. The responses don't say anything new because he says, I, Professor Severus Snape, master of this school, commands you to yield the information. So like he's giving it prompts. So they're responding. I don't think it's thinking on its own. I think it can respond.
It mentions his nose, his hair, and the fact that
that's a great point.
And the fact that
that's
large,
true.
abnormally large holes,
the
ugly
fact
get. Yeah.
that a big idiot
Washes
like
hair.
that ever made
Okay.
professor,
Okay.
which indicates that they knew him before being a professor.
True. That's true. Yeah.
I just also love the fact that he turned around, grabbed flue powder, and chucked it. He got so pissed about that he just grabs flue powder, he chucks it at the fire, and is like, Lupin, I want a word.
You get over here now.
This
God
is
damn it.
his Kylo Ren scene from
Yeah.
Star Wars when he grabs the
Starts
flute powder and
slashing.
starts just whipping it in the fireplace.
I do want to get to the Lupin portion of this, but I need to collect my thoughts. So I want to take a quick little break, and we'll be back right after this. And we're back. And like you said, Professor Lupin is with us now. He has come out of the fire, and, he is kind of trying to defend this map and saying, like, yeah, like you said, Nate, it's from Zonko's. Like, this is just like a trick map that just insults whoever, speaks at it.
I think that this would be my most favorite thing ever.
Oh, God.
I would always
The parchment
have a
that
little bit
insults?
of this. Yeah, because I would like to see it used in a way to where you have it there and you're talking to somebody else. And as they're talking to you, you're just getting perfect fucking one-liners from this that you could just throw at everybody.
That would be nice.
Snape does make a little comment, a weird comment about him getting it straight from manufacturers, which is like,
Harry clocks it. Like, Harry's like, why did that one had stank on it?
Yeah. That's a very specific bit of knowledge.
So we need to pin that note.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's for as much as we say Harry is unobservant, dude's got a great gut check. Like, when he's got a hunch, kind of probably should listen to that hunch.
Like his Snapey sense. I don't know. I was trying for a Spider-Man reference. I don't think I got there. I apologize.
I think we can work on it. I think it sounds too similar to some other words, but I think we can get there.
It's his snidey sense.
Like I said, we'll get there.
Ron does come in and like save everybody's ass and is like, I got all that shit for
Ride
Harry.
or die Ron.
Fully out of breath.
Yeah.
He
Just immediately,
got those from me.
And I love Lupin here too, because Lupin's like, well, that solves it. See? Ron gave all of it to him.
Which is so weird that Snape is just like, cool, not gonna follow up on that at all.
Hold up. What kind of fucking kangaroo court is this? Like, Ron kicks the door open and says, no, it was this way. And
You've
Lupin
been
goes,
at
well,
Hogsmeade
that's,
all day. How the fuck would you know?
yeah, that's good enough for me.
I feel like it was kind of one of those things where, like, Lupin's confidence here just fucked with Snape. Because, like, he goes, well, that clears it up. I'll take this back, shallot. He grabs the map, and then, he immediately turns and he goes, Ron, Harry, come with me. I need to talk to you about an essay. And then just, like, leaves.
Yeah.
And I
if
think
I'm
Snape,
I'm going, hold the fucking phone.
I think it was too quickly of a pivot. He was like, wait. And it's like, nah, they're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. You missed it, dude.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me that we never have another meeting with Dumbledore because I feel like Snape would immediately come marching to Dumbledore and be like,
Hundo,
do you know what Lupin did?
Yeah. Look, we can get to that a little bit more later, but
that's fine.
We know that's what happened. But yeah, so we get to, I think it says they're back to like the Great Hall or right to the entrance of the Great Hall.
Yeah.
And Lupin kind of turns and he says a lot of the kind of the same things that Snape already said, just in a much nicer way, which is better. But, you know, he tells Harry, like, you're throwing away your parents' sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to relive what happened to them when Dementors get close to you, dude. You're throwing that away for stuff from a joke shop.
Yeah.
Seems like a waste.
I mean, when you put it into that kind of a perspective, again, as an adult, I'm going, oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, we do a lot of stuff for the American Legion. We've done a lot of motorcycle runs and stuff like that. I know I've seen the mobile wall, the Vietnam Wall with my dad several times. And like, it is a major thing for a lot of people. And when they're there, you understand why people say, don't forget that. And, you know, Harry reliving, listening to his mom dying, protecting him over and over is like the ultimate, hey, she did that for a fucking reason.
And Dad.
Yeah.
He gets to a point where he's hearing both of them.
Okay, maybe you don't always think about it, but it was an important thing. And yes, I know the joke shop is fucking awesome, but also she did that to keep you safe. Like, don't tempt fate and try and get found by this fucking killer and undo the thing your parents did for you. You dumb fuck.
You 13-year-old dumb fuck.
I might have added that bit at the end. My bad.
No, I thought I read that.
Yeah, Lupin quote, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. He's like, hey, these guys, they think it would be hilarious for you to get out of school. So listening to these guys is not the right way. Like the map makers in general.
Yeah, so I forgot to bring that up because right before this, Harry asks Lupin, why does it seem like Snape thought you knew the people? And Lupin goes, because I did. But then, he says, no, I knew the map makers and they would have wanted you to get in trouble. We've met.
We've met.
We are acquaintances. Yeah. But he
says... So you're going with mystery, huh, Lupin? Okay, I see you.
Yeah. They think it would be great. They think it would be hilarious if you left school.
Well, right after admitting that, he does take Harry on a one-way guilt trip to Sad Town, okay? So, like, I get Harry not focusing in on the fact that he knew the Marauders in this moment.
Right.
But yeah, it's the fact that Lupin knew the Marauders, which does mean that Snape knew the Marauders. Because we know that Snape and Lupin knew each other, so it's like, I have a lot of questions about that as well.
So what?
Did he know the Marauders as Marauders?
I get these are children's books. I get we only have a certain amount of chapters. I fucking understand this, okay? But why in the fuck did we not have Harry going, you know what, Lupin? I'm going to come see you after class.
Every day.
We're going to come have lunch. I know that my dad and you knew each other. You now knew these map makers. Maybe my dad knew the fucking map maker. I have so many questions for you, sir. We are best friends.
My name is Harry Potter. I am taking my invisibility cloak and Marauders map to Professor Lupin's office every single fucking day after dinner. Yeah. Every single fucking day.
I just got this little cutscene in my head where Lupin is just, for whatever reason, not feeling well like he wasn't earlier in this book and is eating dinner alone in his office at the end of the day. The fork comes up halfway to his mouth and he's just like, Harry, are you here again? And Harry fucking flips it down. He's like, yeah, I got more questions for you.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. That's how it should
go. That's how it should go. But no.
Yeah, full agree.
No, they say, you know what? You can't have your map back. Go up to your common room. Peace out. That's the end of the
That
conversation.
sucks.
And Lupin does confiscate the map because he even says, like, yeah, not only did I know the Marauders, I know it's a map, dude. Like, I know all about this thing.
Like, okay, just real quick before we move on.
Mhm.
Lupin did seem surprised that Harry had the map because it reminded him of something that was confiscated a long time ago.
He knew it was this map that was confiscated.
That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't even trying to be subtle about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then Lupin then says, I'm going to take this map when he obviously stole it out of somebody's fucking desk drawer. And he's like, I'm going to go take this map and put it in my classroom in the second drawer on the left. Don't steal it again, obviously. Like, what's the real plan here, Lupin?
I think we're going to find out what the real plan is maybe a little bit later.
Well, that's what it is. He's like, I'm going to take this. And then also I need to talk to you real quick in here where I'm taking this.
No, I'm going to take it and use it.
Yeah, I think Lupin intends to use it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yes, that is maybe a future chapter. I don't know. Maybe that's not a spoiler. Who knows? We move on because Lupin does leave Harry he leaves him in Sad Town, like I said.
Tell him, go back to your common room, bitch.
Guilt tripped him right to Sad Town, and they get intercepted by Hermione. And the chapter ends with us finding out that Hagrid lost the case, which is a weird kind of phrasing on it, because it is about Buckbeak, but Buckbeak lost and is going to get executed because, hey, this chapter just has to end up the most depressing notes possible. Harry, your parents died for no reason because of your actions now, and a cool animal's gonna die. End chapter. Good
Well,
Lord.
and they also had to make it look like Harry and Ron were the biggest assholes because they made them walk up to her after the way she treated them earlier and be like, oh, you're gloating, huh? And her being like, no, absolutely not. I just wanted to tell you this really sad news about our mutual friend.
Yeah.
You guys are assholes.
It was because
Here's the letter that I got from our mutual friend and you didn't get.
Yeah, that you didn't
because
get.
I've been a better friend.
But the last thing we heard was Hermione go like, I'm going to fucking tell on
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
And then Ron, so obviously
I'm
Ron's
saying.
reaction would be like, you did this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's reasonable.
The last thing we heard on the topic was Hagrid telling Ron to be nice and Ron kind of agreeing. So
And then
that's where I was
And then
like,
he did a 180.
yeah,
But
he
she
immediately
was an asshole
180s.
after that. She was she said the telltale thing
that's
after
true.
that.
Yeah, Ron was there
So
after
she-
that.
yeah.
True. That's okay.
Yeah.
Correct. That is correct.
But the last thing that we see in this chapter
Yeah.
is the storyline trying to remind us
Mhm.
that Hermione's not the bad guy because she's just here to tell us about our mutual friend that we've been ignoring.
And that's it. That is how the chapter ends. Does anyone was there any just kind of final thoughts? Anything stick out? Just chapter overall? Nate, you got your hand up. Everyone saw.
I thought about this in just the last 30 seconds. Harry has now just like been told by Lupin, hey, the more you fuck around, it makes your parents' sacrifice meaningless. He also just found out his dad may not have been the shining pillar of morality that he thought he was. I mean, look, if you know who your parents are, nobody's perfect. It's something we all have to learn. That's okay. So I started feeling bad for Harry throughout this chapter because he lost his fucking Marauders map. He got called out for going to Hogsmeade. Like, it's going to get bad for him. And then you'd like to think this scares him into behaving better, and we'll find out whether or not that takes. But I'm then reminded of chapter 3, one Mr. Weasley telling Harry not to fuck around because bad things are going to happen. Well, here the fuck we are, Harry. Bad things are happening.
Yeah, Ron absolutely was taking a cautious approach. Like the whole thing with the Grim. Ron took the Grim seriously.
Yeah.
He thought something was coming for Harry. Something comes for Harry, and then Ron's like, but come on, man, let's go to Hogsmeade.
Yeah, as much as Hermione may be being an asshole, and now Harry's finally starting to understand, like, Mr. Weasley, he tried to save you from all of these feels right now, but you didn't listen. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know. As Harry, I feel like I would, at this point, be learning my lesson. I feel like this would have stuck out to me. The thing that Lupin said,
Oh, yeah.
drop the mic. Like, that's it. I got you. Same team. I'm staying in the school and trying to be safe.
I know you took the map, but here's my invisibility cloak, too.
Yeah. For all the shenanigans I've been up to this year, I think I'm good now.
Yeah, but that's not where we are.
Nope.
And I mean, it's frustrating that Hermione is right in this moment because I'm annoyed by her and her actions.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's Harry is not looking at the big picture at all. It's but you don't either. When I was reading it, I didn't either. I was like fully in with where he was, and I was like, okay. But now looking at it, I'm like, where the fuck is he? Why is he going to just Hogsmeade on the way? You could go there any fucking day. What? You go there on a Tuesday at
Fuck, I didn't even think about that. He's got a cloak and a map.
Right.
Yeah.
You go there on a Tuesday. Who gives a shit?
Jesus Christ.
Nobody knows. You sneak out.
That literally
That's
never
the secret.
registered until
Just
right
go
now.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Skip herbology and go to Honeydukes.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Good.
You think the guy at
Fuck me.
Zonko who you just dropped 5 galleons to is gonna fucking stitch you
Yeah.
out?
13-year-old kid, I ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a discount knowing you're still going to give me 5 galleons next time, too.
Maybe you don't go see Madame Rosmerta, but you go over to the Hogshead across, around the way, who's a little darker.
Nope.
That's fucking
nope.
hilarious.
I'm seeing
Harry.
I'm seeing
You
Madame
might go
Rosmerta.
look at Madame Rosmerta, but you might not take off your cloak because I'm just saying she's real close with all the school teachers. I'm just saying I wouldn't trust that bitch.
I think I'd have to keep my cloak probably bundled up in my lap.
Okay. Anyways, I think that's the thoughts for
The
this.
most
that's-
awkward fucking way possible.
I think that's all that we could possibly say, think, or want to do about this chapter.
Well, if you wanted to let us know what you thought about this episode or this chapter, you could send an owl to podcastatt@gmail.com.
It's an aggressive
Excuse me. I know, right? Or you can follow us on all of our
You're upset
social
with
media.
what you said in this chapter.
If you really enjoyed this episode, you can find us on patreon.com/podcastatt, where you can make a pledge of any amount. We sure would appreciate it.
$500.
If that's not your style, make sure you like and subscribe to this feed for more, where we will see you guys next week. Thank you all very, very much for listening, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Yeah, $500. That's it. Pledge at $500. That's great. We will absolutely accept that. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Raspberry.
Oh, bye. Oh, bye. Oh, wow. Oh, bye.